it's taking a video, so it's... But let's go back to the authentic thing we were just talking about. So we're too pretty to be on YouTube? Is that what you said?
No, I said we're pretty enough
to be on YouTube. That's probably true. Let's see the red character of your face. Oh, it's so good. Look how attractive we are. Star Trek. Okay, so we are filming, technically. I don't think I've ever filmed anything on this before. So that's a good start. And it's like too low, so I can kind of hunch down. We can just talk. So this is also the personal approach I think we were going for. So you have no idea. So she has no idea that this is what people do when they are trans, and then they talk to their best friends on YouTube. So this is the first one. We're just gonna settle on. We're not talking on YouTube because we're not too pretty, but we are pretty enough, which is important. Okay, so let's do it. We'll do the Q&A. We'll do the Q&A friendship roll starting.
Am I being questioned?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna question you. That's what's about.
Why was I not given any warning about this?
Authentic was the word we were using. So I'm Kit, and this is Rainy, and those are our real names, if anyone's asking. Although we have
sound made up.
It does a little bit. Although we do have pseudonyms for hiking, and this is also my trail buddy. It's a whole other thing. So let's start with how...
We should go by trail names instead of real names eventually.
Okay. If you're popular enough for our pretty YouTube channel, then we'll talk. So, let's start with Rainy.
Yes.
How long have you known that I am trans? These are good faces.
I don't remember when you first told me. At least a year.
I would say at least, yeah, because we went hiking last year. 2.
Oh, yeah. 2 years?
It's been like 2 years.
Was I in Guatemala when that happened?
I think so. She lived in Guatemala. She's very well traveled.
Because in college, you were just lesbian.
That's true.
There was no... I had lots of other stuff, but there was no indication of...
That's one way of putting it. That's true. Okay, so yes, so 2 years. Okay, so how did you feel when I came out to you as trans?
Kind of relieved.
Yeah?
It's better than all the other stuff.
Better than all the other stuff. How so?
As far as what it does to your mental, like, health and mental capacity and how you view yourself.
Yeah.
It's less of a problem, and all the other stuff was problems. So it was the first time it felt like a solution.
That's true. And not, like, I don't think you're talking about the gay stuff. You're talking about, like, general me stuff, right?
No.
Yeah, to be fair, when you think of problems, she's very supportive of all of my lifestyle choices.
As you are of mine.
I can see you on this thing. Anyways, as we are also supportive of each other. No, we're talking about just me in college. That was a rough time for me. So I think generally, like, finding us, probably you say, like, sense of self is like we were going for. Yeah,
you were a mess of, your identity was just scattered to the point where not even you knew where to start picking up the pieces.
Yeah, no.
And the first time I ever saw any sort of unity within you was when you told me you were trans. It was the first time that anything kind of made sense, or any of the shattering made sense.
Yeah, that's true. I would agree. I think that's the thing. I'll talk about that on my own. Let's think of more important trans friend questions for our pretty channel. Now, when you say I'm pretty, how would you qualify that? We won't qualify that. We don't need
to be pretty.
That's true. I am paid to be pretty.
You're paid to be pretty and bring people food.
Aw, I don't know. It's just about that. Thank you. I'm paid for so much more than that. It's not just.
I have quotes from you saying that.
There is. Shoot. That's true. That's real.
I'm using past Kid against you.
Oh, I can't remember what I can't remember what I say. It's really great when everyone else can remember what I say. Okay, so great. So what is? Let's see. How would you think me being trans has it affected our friendship at all? Good or bad? Like, very honest. That's why we have it.
Not yet.
It's true.
I mean, you haven't started hormones yet.
I haven't.
So far it's just been lots of complicated, I don't know, lots of in-depth conversations, but that's nothing new. That's what our friendship's always been kind of based on.
We have lots of
is a sense of identity and figuring out who we are.
Yeah.
Both you and I. So far, it's not like you've changed. You know, like you mentally have changed, but like your look hasn't changed except your hair color, but that's nothing new either.
Yeah, that changes either.
No, I wouldn't, I mean...
It's true. Awesome.
It made me think about it more. Because there's a lot of kind of celebrity kind of things happening right now. But that wasn't really going on when we first started talking about it. So I kind of only knew about it as a nebulous thing, not as something.
And gender was a whole thing. Like you.
Yeah, gender was really hard for me.
That's true.
That wasn't hard on our friendship, but that was really hard for me to understand.
Yeah, I mean it's a big deal. And you're not giving anybody. So very cisgendered.
I'm cis.
You're so sissy, but not a sissy. She could kill me with one arm. To be fair, I mean, like look at that. I can't, and I've been trying for months, and that's just yeah. She's so strong, but also very feminine. She's a cisgendered, very feminine and happy and comfortable on that spectrum. And like even though I've never really been on the feminine side that much, although you've seen me do feminine things before.
At first, not anymore.
Not really anymore.
In college, you were playing with it.
Playing, yeah. I play. But, yeah, I don't think you really... I haven't really done a lot. So that was very... I know that the gender binary was something that was... I think it was more... We talked a lot about, like, the concepts and theories about it. Which is interesting, because it's not just... As much as, like, I think... Like, even... I still worry about, like, how much trans obsession there was in my life in the last 2 years. Like, how much that would affect, like, the last relationship, or, like... Just because this is your identity. I mean, like, it's not my only identity. Actually, I have things I more strongly pull my identity to than this, but it's a major thing to walk through. So I think for anybody struggling, or like anybody who's questioning this stuff and like figuring it out, you have to put it on the forefront for a while. But I think like even in our friendship, I still questioned how much it, like, if it was too much at any point, like, just because I felt the way, like, personally, I was very self-aware of, like...
Almost.
Yeah, we talk about this too much. Yeah, like, I bring this up too much. There were points when it
probably was the all-encompassing aspect
of
every conversation. That happened a lot on the hike.
Yeah, I did.
But, I mean, that's something that...
We were on the side of a mountain. That's when you're supposed to process these things.
That's true.
You know, your cup of coffee made with gas and water in the morning. And mice, and you filtered, like,
we didn't eat the mice. The mice were around. The way you said that was a little bit...
I was but, you know, technically, when we were sleeping, who knows, there were tiny mice.
We were in mosquito nets. They couldn't have gotten in.
Except for the one night that you broke, oh, no, you didn't break your knee, but and then we had to, like, we had to cocoon our faces, like this. And I used my kerchief, since I was kerchief, and I put that over my face and pray. So many little mice.
Oh.
They're probably not that curious of mice. I don't think they would have liked our breath that much. Mosquitoes did, though. Anyways. Trans. Gender queer. You also, I mean, you were one of the people who, like, walk with me through, like, the whole gender fluid thing. And, like, I still don't really know how far I fall on that spectrum and stuff. But, like, has that ever mattered in, like, our conversations to you? Like, have you ever seen, like, something you would say is more authentic or less authentic, or like hopes? I don't know.
I'm confused by the question.
I don't really know. I'm making this up as we go. Better question. Subtract. What are your hopes for me? Tomorrow is shot day, so that's why she's forced to do this. It's not. It's not. No. Not forced. That's true. She did volunteer to come here. You're not gonna shoot me.
No.
Tomorrow is my anniversary, day 1. So. Yeah. Is
that a word?
It is.
I like that.
It is. It's my anniversary. It's very exciting.
June 16th.
June 16th. 6/15. We're 15?
16.
Are we 16? It's not the 16th.
Today's the 15th. Tomorrow's the 16th.
I skipped a whole year in my life for a second there. I thought we were talking the 15th. Right.
No, I'm not talking the year. I'm talking the...
Dyslexic. So, going right back to it. So since tomorrow's my anniversary, and we're starting that, do you have any, like, things you're hopeful for me specifically, or, like, or even hesitant, or, like, what do we feel about, like, starting this process now that it's, like, it's not that you can be trans and not take hormones, you can be trans and not do surgeries, like, that's a thing for sure. Absolutely a thing. But since that's part of my journey now, and that's, like, a new stepping stone for me, do you have words?
I have worries for you.
Yeah.
With the whole, like, bathroom thing.
Oh, that's true.
That still worries me. Like,
yeah.
When do you stop using a woman's? When do you start using a man's? Like, how, you know? And
yeah.
I just talked to my mom about this and kind of tried to explain it to her a little bit, which has been interesting.
Oh. It's
And
fun. She likes me a lot, but has always seen herself in me, so this would be a very weird thing for her because I'm saying, man.
well, she started calling you her other son, which doesn't make any sense because she doesn't have any sons.
No, she doesn't, but that's so cute!
Because my mom calls all my best friends other daughter.
I'm the only. She could just call me the only son. That's cute.
Yeah, she could. That's true.
Continue.
Anyway, and so we were talking about, like, using bathrooms, and she was like, well, why doesn't Kit just use a man's bathroom? And I was like, because she could get murdered.
That's true.
And so...
But, like, if I'm passing even name things, I think that's going to be easier.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
That part is always, like...
Yeah.
That was a kind of a strong way to say it, too. I don't actually think that
I'm gonna get
you're going to die, but...
Yeah.
I don't know. That part. And then romantic relationships, because that's something that you worry about and you talk about a lot. So
yeah, I do.
The idea of how soon you tell a person, or...
Yeah.
How, I don't know. Whatever that could be.
That's true. But I do like myself a lot more in this last year than I've ever, probably in my whole life.
That's true.
And I'm much less, finally getting less dependent on, like, other people's opinions of me. So that's played.
Less too.
I do.
Was like almost non-existent.
I know.
When I met you, it was very, very firmly in place.
Well, yeah, and there's lots of them. Like, that was another thing. I've just shifted masks all the time. So now that I'm me and I like that, I think that's helped a lot. So that's a whole other topic about me. I'll talk about that some other time and dating and stuff. But what else? Anything else, frenzies?
Prepare, maybe I can help you now.
That's true. But we have been talking for like 12 minutes, which is fairly substantial. So, like, this can be part one of things. She's living in DC, so not yet, but she will be. So if you know, so I'll go visit and we'll do a DC edition of Frenzy things.
I'll go hiking together.
That's true. I don't know that the podcast will happen quite as much for that because the videos we have from us hiking are not things you want to service on the internet. I might do that. If I did, I'd put a link for it right here, right now. But I might not.
Dancing?
So don't give away the surprise. Anyways. Okay, friend edition, take one. Only one. We're only doing one take. That's the only time we're doing this. We don't need editing because this is the pretty channel.
Oh my god.
Bye.